Focus.
Focus. We're here.
Focus.
We're live. We're going.
What's up, MMA fans? It's another weekly edition of Split Decision MMA. Your weekly MMA podcast. We're live, right? Everything's
Yeah,
live?
we are live.
We are live.
We're going.
Weekly MMA podcast covering everything that is the world of mixed martial arts. We talk about your rumors. We talk about your news. We talk about the things that are hidden on forums that you need these hats for to understand. We also...
Well, not to understand, but to try to just...
Try to comprehend?
Comprehend.
That's understand.
Well, I don't know about...
You may not understand it.
What is it to align yourself with it?
Yeah. Get you in tune.
Get you in tune. Yeah.
Like, you know, when you used to have the foil.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You have a hole in your shirt.
You're holding the TV.
Don't do that. You have a hole in your shirt.
Do I have to have a hole in my shirt?
Yeah.
New shirts.
Is that a funky Askren shirt?
We also break down the fights, talk about the fights that are upcoming, talk about the fights that just happened. A lot of recap of the fights this week.
Man, this week has been nothing but... I mean, there was three...
A lot of fallout from this fight.
But, I mean, there was just three fights that everybody wants to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know what's funny is people want to talk about the most is the quickest one.
Yeah, I love that. I loved it. But let's start off with a little bit of news. Let's start off with Daniel Cormier, man of the hour, man with the power. Always sweet, never sour.
Yeah, because he's doing the detail.
He's got the detail. If you watch ESPN, you know what the detail is, sort of, maybe. I don't know, hopefully.
And if you don't, get with it.
Get with it. This is what it is. They used to have Kobe Bryant doing the detail for the NBA. He'd be basically breaking down either a single player or a game or something like that and go into detail about things that he saw and how to make changes and better and all things. They had Peyton Manning used to do it for the NFL. Now we have Daniel Cormier doing the detail on MMA. They had talked to him about the first one where he had talked about the holes that he saw in Stipe's game and what he was going to do, and he did exactly what he said he was going to do.
Unbelievable.
So now this last one, he did an
Completely
in-depth look at Amanda Nunes ahead of her fight against Holly Holm. So it's very cool him watching tape and breaking down everything that he knows. And it's going to be the first of 5 episodes. So he's got 5 episodes of the detail. The Amanda Nunes episode was episode 1. I don't know what the other ones are going to be, but we'll see going into those fights. Probably.
I bet they have to do with MMA fighters.
I'm sure they're going to be leading into big fights. I would. That's safe to assume. Sir.
I don't think you'd have Daniel Cormier covering hockey.
Also with Daniel Cormier, this weekend he won an ESPY. That is an ESPN award. He won the ESPY for Best MMA Fighter of the Year.
There you go.
Are you okay with that?
Oh, I'm glad they finally split it between, because before it was just Best Fighter of the Year, right?
Do you think it's? Well, yeah. Before it was, I believe it was, best fighter. Now that included boxers. Now they split those. We have best boxer, best MMA fighter. Do you think he should have got it over Henry Cejudo, who has a gold medal, by the way? I don't know if you know that. He likes to remind everybody, but I don't know if you know it.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah,
I mean, because
he was
a champ before Cejudo was a champ, so maybe he gets it.
But if Cejudo stays on his grind, because like now he's going to go to the 145 and 155, and
allegedly, right?
Yeah, and eventually take the 165, 170. Then he could.
He'll win it next year.
Yeah, you can just hand him the award.
He'll win it next year. Good for DC though. I'm happy for him.
I think he's going to have trouble at 205, but I don't know.
Moving on from there, Ken Shamrock made news this week, and everyone freaked the F out, man.
Lost their minds.
He has decided to start Valor bare knuckle boxing. So he is into the BKB as they call it in the trades, right? BKB scene. He's decided I can't compete with the UFC, but I can compete with those other guys because 2 other people have tried. So I might as well throw my name into the hat. He has started his own bare knuckle boxing promotion. It will have its first show September 21st inside the Four Bears Casino and Lodge in North Dakota and on pay-per-view.
They had to make a new town in North Dakota.
Called Newtown,
North
Dakota. Everyone freaked the F out because they thought that Ken Shamrock was going to be fighting in bare knuckle boxing.
It's kind of Mark Coleman's fault.
Yeah, Mark Coleman kind of called him out or said basically that that he was interested. He said that
and you can't wave steak at Hungry Dogs. You can't.
He also wished him well, you know what I mean? But yeah, he kind of was like, "Hey, if you're going to do this, I want to do it too." He said, "Ken and I are finally going to share the ring. BKB, I will no longer have to answer if I ever fought the great Ken Shamrock. Modified rules." So I don't know if that's actually going to happen. It was just Shamrock trying to promote that he's fighting. Right. He's not actually fighting. He's promoting this promotion that he has started. He said, "I fell in love with bare knuckle boxing in the first no holds barred UFC promotion back in '93. And there's nothing like bare knuckle. You have to be much more accurate with the strikes, and you have to train with a specific strategy in your mind. So, yes, Ken Shamrock will not be fighting in bare knuckle boxing as of yet.
He may or may not.
As of yet.
We don't
know. But
know.
he is starting his own promotion called Valor Bare Knuckle.
Right.
Okay?
Hey,
So-
our sun glitzed hay hauler Carmichael says what's happening.
What's happening, Blake?
What's happening, Blake?
What's happening, man? Moving on from there, Chad Mendes has officially retired. Chad Mendes did get knocked out. What was that? Back at UFC 232 last December.
So he just came back to fight that one fight on his contract?
That for the back in December?
Right.
Yeah, so he fought that fight. There was rumors that he was going to retire officially. He said he wanted to give it a little time for things to settle down and think about it and see if his feeling, like at that time he's like, yeah, I need to retire. But he said I wanted to settle down, see how let everything kind of rest and then make the decision. He said his decision has not changed. He is officially retiring for good. Put it up on his Instagram. Just going to be running fins and feathers, man. Just going to be running fins and feathers.
And that's what he was seeing.
That's what he liked to do anyway.
But I mean, he was just feeling out. He's like, if fins and feathers, that's pretty good. Then yeah, I'm out.
Yeah. He said he had a great time. He said he wanted to step away for a little bit, but it was a privilege and honor to work with Chad over his career. Over the 11 years, Chad has become one of my closest friends. With Jim Myers, the guy who got to and manager was the guy who got to make the news there. So good for Chad Mendes, man. Great career.
Oh yeah,
Good career.
and again,
He retires at 18
I
and
wouldn't
5.
say he's completely gone. Again,
He retires
money talks.
He retires at 18 and 5. Was definitely one of the best featherweights out there. He's 34 years old. Good for you, man. Good for you. Also in the news, Conor McGregor's best friend.
I see him and McGregor fighting 10 years from now.
This guy?
No,
That we're about to talk about?
Mendes.
Oh, Mendes, all right.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor's best friend, Dillon El Jefe Dannis, was attacked in a New York City brothel. I mean, burlesque club. Sorry, nightclub in New York on some really shaky.
That means titty tassels.
A really shaky cell phone cam. You got to see this guy who he apparently there was him and his crew. It was like at 1 a.m. hanging out at this club.
At an apparent sausage fest.
Yeah, there's a lot of dudes. Some guy with no shirt on, wearing a lei, some yellow flowers around him, ran up and sucker punched him. Just like threw a punch over.
Which seems to be the going thing for Dannis.
Someone said it could have been a Khabib fan.
Well, I mean, I think everybody just wants to sucker punch Dannis.
He fell backwards. He tried to hit, but he fell backwards. Tried to hit you. The brawl breaks out, and that was it. Everyone said they were scared. They were scared. So yeah, Dillon Dannis in a brawl at a burlesque club. Kind of crazy. And I think what's funny is that someone said, you're not supposed to take any photos or videos there because they'll throw you out immediately. But I pulled out my cell phone really, really quick to try to get a quick shot of Dillon Dannis, and then saw the fight. Anyway, so that's where it is. We don't know if the cops got called. We don't know what's going on. There's that. So
whatever. The guy told him, "I'm gonna go punch Dannis. Film it." That's my opinion.
There's no cell phones allowed in here, but I'm gonna go punch that
Dannis.
guy. You film it.
You film it.
You ready? World star.
World star. World star.
Moving on from there, Tito Ortiz back in the spotlight. Tito Ortiz, as we know, has signed with Combates Americanas.
Is his real name Jacob?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody said that to me. They're like, "Did you see Jacob Ortiz is fighting again?" I was like, "Who is that?" They're like, "Tito." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. So he has signed, obviously, with Combates. We talked about that. That was earlier this year. That was in April that he signed with them. He's 20-12 and 1. They have Roberto Del Rio, who is a former WWE star, as well as a former mixed martial artist himself, as one of their head commentators, an in-ring interview guy, as you can see here. The president has announced that they are making this fight happen, that they are going to have Tito Ortiz fight Alberto Del Rio, also known as Jose Alberto Rodriguez, who has fought as a luchador back in Pride as Dos Caras Jr. I don't know if you remember that. Well, let me shake your memory here. We got head kicked by Crow Cop. Got head kicked by Crow Cop. He lost Pride Bushido #1 back in 2003, where he was wearing the luchador mask and fought as Dos Caras Jr.
And it only seems silly if you lose with the luchador mask on.
But I mean, you got to give him some credit. He's 9-5. He has 9 wins.
There you go.
I mean, he actually has an okay I guess.
So he's only fought 14 times. And
Yep, he's gonna fight Tito, who's fought 22 times.
Oh wow.
Or
Yeah,
actually,
and
who's
Tito's
won 20 times.
and Tito's fought a lot bigger group of
competition. Oh yeah. Del Rio hasn't fought since 2010 in mixed martial arts, but he's gonna be fighting Tito. I don't know why, other than they're trying to push Combates more, I guess.
I don't know.
Take
if
their
Tito gets to bring in a fishing pole, I'm taking Tito.
Gets their two biggest star names to fight.
Combates?
Yeah.
Maybe I would say well-known names.
That's what I mean, well-named. Not necessarily stars. Not necessarily the guys
Combates
who are at the top.
Combates got some good guys now.
Or any of this. I'm talking like freak show, like, hey, we just signed two guys that you may recognize if you don't watch MMA. So anyway, we'll see what ends up happening there. USADA got another one. That's all I got to say. USADA.
So now you need to put the golden snitch and then Khalid on the other side. Got another one. You got another one.
UFC signee Ivan Shaitakov accepted his 2-year suspension by USADA for violating the anti-doping policy. He was busted with, let's see if I can pronounce half these things that he got in trouble for. He got tested positive for Boldenun and its metabolite.
Boldenun.
Boldenun, its metabolite.
Or Bolden 1.
Which is obviously prohibited at all times and is an anabolic agent.
Okay.
He was scheduled to face Devin Clark back at UFC 149 this last April, had to pull from the fight due to these abnormal findings, as well as extra testosterone. He has been requested and granted his release from UFC. Guess what? He's fighting or he can't fight in the UFC until March 2021. Doesn't matter. He's got to fight in 2 weeks in Ryzen.
That's what I say. A lot of times when we're talking about people being cut.
Because Ryzen doesn't have a commission that regulates drug testing.
Or... They don't test for
fact.
this. That's a fact?
That's a fact.
Are you sure?
That's a fact.
I don't want to be called a crack reporter by some weird podcast.
Moving on from there, someone who does do extringent testing is One Championship. They do really, really good testing out there in One. However...
But isn't there... so maybe it was One or Bellator. There's a list of stuff that they don't test for. That
was back in the day, I think, with Pride, where they're like, all right, here's the list of stuff we don't test for. Don't get in trouble for that stuff.
Okay. So pretty much UFC and One they test for almost the same?
They test for quite a bit, yeah. They test for quite a bit. Now, they don't have, obviously, USADA out in Singapore, but they do drug testing.
Do they do picogram level?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know if they're doing picogram level. However, One will be coming to the United States. We talked about this a couple months ago, that One is building and putting in a headquarters in New York and in LA to try to help push their viewership here in the United States, as well as secure viewership on TNT and Bleacher Report and things of that nature. However, now CEO Chitari Siddhadong has also said that they are going to be pushing big in the American market and looking to make a big splash with a fight in New York City.
As soon as they found out that Bare Knuckle supposedly did 200,000 buys.
Now, they said it will take some time and it will be in 2020, but however, they will try to push for New York City as a host city for their first U.S. card.
But they have tons of money, and that's what gets things done fast in the U.S. is money.
Money. That's how it happens. And that's it for the basic news. Let's get into the breakdown.
I'm saying
the breakdown, because there is lots of fallout and lots of things going on with this fight. UFC 239 that happened this past weekend started out on ESPN Plus and Fight Pass. Excuse me, UFC Plus and Fight Pass.
Yeah.
So we had Julia Alvia defeated Pani Klanzad. We had Chance Roncontour defeated Ishmael Nordadev. And Edmund Shabazan defeated Jack Marshman. There's a little bit of a fall for Jack Marshman, don't you think? Didn't he just get a big fight? Didn't he just have a big win? I could be wrong. Let's take this time. We're early. No, maybe not.
No.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking somebody else. Anyway.
Yeah.
Moving on from there, your prelim card on regular ESPN. Yadong Song knocks out Alejandro Perez.
And I loved hearing somebody say you can never underestimate Yadong.
You can't.
You can't.
You can't.
Never underestimate
this guy has some hands, baby. I'm excited to see his career blossom here in the UFC.
He's not just a swinging dick.
Moving on from there, we have women's strawweight. Claudia Gadelha gets the win over Randa Marcos.
This was a match of like wondrous asses. I couldn't pay attention to their hands because
You weren't
the
paying
asses.
attention to the fight. You didn't think that. I don't know. I definitely gave it to Gadea. It wasn't a very exciting fight as far as It was a back and forth, but I didn't feel like it swung either way. One person dominated more than the other.
Yeah, definitely not 30-27.
Yeah, 30-27 is a little bit of a stretch for me, but however, there it is. Marlon Vera gets the win over Nohin Hernandez with a submission rear naked choke.
So now we figure this out.
Allegedly.
So we have to tell you, Draco.
If that's who you were supposed to fight, if you were supposed to fight Marlon Vera, and your jiu-jitsu game, according to
You dodged
the
a bullet.
owner of King of the Cage, you would have lost, and he protected you. However, that is not my opinion, nor is that Dennis's opinion.
Nope.
Just saying that's based on what we were told,
Right.
and the facts that were presented for us. However, we look forward to seeing you in the UFC, hopefully at the end of your contract.
Maybe.
And then we have Arnold Allen defeats Gilbert Melendez in a unanimous decision.
Man.
How did you feel about that fight?
Gilbert just looked rusty.
Did he? Yeah. He just it just wasn't the same Gil that I'm used to seeing. The tenacity wasn't there. The pressure wasn't there. I mean, he did well enough. Obviously, he didn't do well enough to get the win, but he didn't get finished. I just feel like it wasn't the same Gil that I was used to seeing back in the Strikeforce days.
The level of
back
tenacity.
in the Elite XC days. Back even in the early UFC days when he had signed, I just didn't see the level of tenacity that I'm used to seeing from Gil. We'll see where he goes from
Tommy? My cousin, he's like, I saw what you did with that, with Yadong and.
Oh, you saw? Yeah, don't point out the jokes. That makes them not funny.
Gotta
And then
whiteboard him.
on your start of your main card on pay-per-view, Michael Chiesa defeats Diego Sanchez with a unanimous decision. Had a couple things to say about his fight afterwards. He said he was not happy with Mr. Diego Sanchez sticking his finger in his butthole.
And it
Mind
appears
you,
to
it's
be
called
his
oil checking.
And it appears to be his thumb.
Yeah.
That's the big one.
He says he even screamed out, "Hey, get your fingers out of my ass."
Yeah.
And was afraid it was going to blow up on Twitter, and it didn't. So he was happy. But now that you said it, we're going to blow it up right now.
Twitter, yeah.
Hey, get your fingers out of his ass, Diego. That's not cool. While I understand, even Chizia said, when you finger the brown starfish, it's called oil checking in wrestling. It's just still not cool.
Right.
I know it happens, but it's not cool.
No.
It was not necessary, Diego.
No, in wrestling,
it was not necessary.
In wrestling, you usually do it to get the guy out of a weird position, like he won't move. So you're like, "How about now?"
Yeah, woo. Woo.
What's really weird is when they don't move, or they actually push against your finger.
Yeah.
They're like, "Whoa,
Whoa.
whoa."
Either way, not cool. That's the opinion of myself and obviously Michael Chiesa. I don't know how you feel about it. Moving on from there, Luke Rockhold gets staunched in the second round, 1:39. KO, another broken jaw. Thanks.
When
to
do you think the broken
Jan
jaw happened?
Blachowicz.
Right at the knockout, or do you think
It was pretty brutal, man.
I don't know.
You think it was before then?
I'm wondering.
I don't know. Dana White has called for Luke Rockhold's retirement. I don't know if he needs to retire. He had just moved up in weight, but
Which I said was a bad idea anyway. He don't belong in that heavier weight division. He's a model, for God's sake. Lose some weight.
But he didn't look any different.
Go back
Did you
to
see the
Virginia
side-by-side?
Slims and a
Did you
Diet
see the
Pepsi.
side by side? He didn't look any different. At least in the side by side I saw. He didn't look any different.
Yeah. He looked plumpier.
So he ended up losing his first bout at light heavyweight. I don't know. I mean, this is a guy who had the middleweight championship. This is a guy who had the Strikeforce championship. I don't know if it's time for him to retire. He's only coming off of 2 KO losses.
So what do you say? The third KO, then it's time to go?
Third KO, maybe retire. But give him another fight, see what he does.
When you can no longer
He
eat
moved
solid
up in
food,
weight.
when you
He
can no
weighed-
longer eat solid food or know who you are or where you are,
Now
that's
it's time
when
to
you should
retire. You want
retire.
him to die in the cage anyway.
Yeah, but on this one, I'm like, today's the day.
Today's the day. You're already at today's
Well,
the
when
day.
you have like Chad Mendez or him, when you have another career that you can do,
Polo sport.
yeah, go do it. Go do it. And movies, I'm sure you can read a script.
I'm sure you can. Maybe not right now, but maybe
Yeah.
soon. And then the big fight that
He can
everyone's...
mumble rap.
Hey, if Kanye could put out a whole album with his jaw wired shut, Luke Rockhold can. On from there, obviously one of the big fights everybody is talking about only lasted 5 seconds. This was George Masvidal KO Ben Askren, flying knee, 5 seconds in the first round. He ran across, kneed him in the face, hit him with 2 more shots, and it was over.
Right, and I'm with Joe here. I think it needs to be edited to 3.
It needs to be edited to 3. Joe Rogan was shocked could not get out of his seat.
Oh, he didn't
was
even
just,
know.
oh my goodness.
His DMT was so kicking in.
Oh my goodness. Just could not move. There was a lot of things going on. I was at work. I couldn't watch the fights live. I ended up watching them later, but I was constantly refreshing. I had like 5 tabs open on my phone trying to refresh play-by-plays,
Right.
and I had the wikis open because wiki usually is one of the first ones that people type in immediately because they want to be the first guy to put the edit in.
Right.
The 3 wikis that I read back to back to back were UFC 239, George Masvidal defeats Ben Askren due to knee of death.
Knee of death.
I immediately clicked Ben Askren's and it said KO loss due to execution. I immediately clicked George Masvidal. It says KO win due to murder. I start laughing. And then obviously I see all the recaps and all that sort of thing. And then watching the fight was absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of people that were complaining that the 2 punches afterwards were unnecessary. Do you feel that they were unnecessary?
No.
Right? George Masvidal says, I stopped.
I'm mad that Herb got involved. Get out the way, Herb. Get out the way.
He gave him the 3-piece.
Yeah.
He got him with the knee, 2 punches. He was
There you
done.
go. That's the
3-piece in a
3-piece.
soda. Although he called it the whole MGM buffet.
Yeah.
And that he ended Ben Askren. This was pretty crazy. Again,
Somebody said it was breakfast because he went ham on it.
Oh, he went ham for sure. He then immediately got down and kind of started to mock him, which this right here totally reminded me of this right here when Stone Cold used to get all people's faces and be like, after he gave him the Stone Cold Stunner and they're just laying there unconscious. I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
Right.
It was great. And then, of course, he did the sideways like, hey,
Dude.
this is what he really did. And he says he doesn't feel bad for that.
No.
He doesn't. Why?
They even gave him a chance. Do you feel bad about doing that now? No, not at all.
No, he's all. I thought he was okay. He could have gave me the thumbs up, which someone photoshopped. It was possible Ben Askren was okay, and Herb Dean stopped it early. Thumbs up there.
There's a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Pretty good Photoshop. I was pretty happy with that. It's pretty funny. Ben Askren goes on Ariel Helwani the next day. Good for him, man. I got respect for you for doing that.
Yeah.
100%. And basically was like, I lost. I mean, he immediately tweeted.
What do you want me to do? Cry about it?
He immediately tweeted, well, that sucks.
Shit, yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. He's like, I'm still going to talk trash. This is how I get guys to fight me. And
I like how he goes, and I woke up and I thought, damn
I
it,
lose?
I lost to Masvidal.
And they asked him, where'd you wake up? The hospital.
Yeah.
That's when he knew
Yeah.
that he lost, was at the hospital. Little savage with the internet trolls out there. They went to Ben Askren's wife's Instagram to a family photo and started saying, our condolences for your dead husband. Is Ben alive? Are we sure that he's still dead? Different things like that.
MMA
on his
fans,
life.
no
Brutal,
chill.
Savage.
No chill.
But at the same time, when you're Ben Askren out there trolling everybody online, it's to be expected. He even flat out said,
Knocked out shark. Knocked out shark. Sleepy shark. Ate and eat.
Yeah. It was
fell asleep.
pretty good. He flat out said in his interview, he said, look, he's like, he said Masvidal's technique was great. He maintained he still doesn't like the guy, and he says it wasn't a lucky knee. Instead, it was definitely precision. However, it is a risk-reward situation.
Why didn't he try to dodge it?
It is a high-risk maneuver, and obviously the reward is great, but if you miss, you're in some trouble. However, there was videos of that Mike Brown, Masvidal's trainer, put up that they've been training that for 48 hours, like that, just running across, boom, boom, just nailing it accurately.
Because he was
Adesanya was in the back giving an interview and like freaked out, was like, hold up, what the fuck? Like, it was great. Like, he just stopped the
but
interview.
that was everybody in their living room.
Everybody,
My living room was dead quiet. Like,
The Rock got
we
involved,
covered children's eyes. We were like,
"Dude,
oh my
don't
God.
watch this." It was great. Good for George Masvidal. There are rumors that George Masvidal is jumping the entire line to go to the front and becoming the next in line for a title against Kamaru Usman when he is ready in November.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you take out Ben Askren, who was what everybody thought was supposed to be the next guy, right?
Yeah, but he wasn't even ranked yet, was he?
Who else?
No, I don't get mad.
No, I'm not. I just want to know if you don't think
me.
it should be him, who do you believe it should be? Who would you like to be? I mean, we know the
was he already in line?
First and foremost, we know the rankings don't matter because the rankings are bullshit and put up by bullshit people, and we talk about that every single time we talk about the rankings. However, if you jump into the rankings, your choices are Tyron Woodley, who just lost to Usman, Colby Covington, who is a teammate of George Masvidal. But Masvidal said, guess what? I'd fight him anyway. You know why? I didn't get in this sport to high-five no man.
Right.
That's exactly what he said. I didn't get in this sport to high-five no man, so I would fight him.
I would say that I want to see that fight, but I want to see.
He already took out Darren Till.
No, I know, but I want to see
Rafael dos
Covington.
Anjos.
I want to see Covington Woodley more than I want to see Masvidal Covington.
Okay, so let's do Woodley Covington, and I still give Masvidal the shot against Usman.
Right? No. I agree. Now that I'm seeing it.
Now that you're seeing it, yeah. I mean, Askren was up there in 4 spots. Again, rankings don't matter.
So he was in the top 10.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was number 5.
9.
He moved down one,
4,
two, 3,
Never mind.
4.
Never mind.
He was number 5.
I got you.
Now he's number 9. Again,
right.
rankings don't matter. However,
yeah, it's like the points on whose line it is anyway.
Yep, the rankings don't matter. Yeah, pretty great. And then of course we could talk about. Oh, I closed it. Damn it. Your co-main event, Amanda Nunes retains her belt and knocks out Holly Holm with a head kick.
With her own kick.
In round 1 at 4 minutes, 10 seconds to go. This was pretty brutal as well. Yeah, she was throwing those legs pretty liberally.
But in the overall exchange, stand up to stand up,
I still think Nunes was getting the better of it.
you think so?
I think she was. I think hers were landing harder and a little more accurately. Yeah, gets the win. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Hits her with her own kick.
Look at that quad.
There are rumors already swirling that the UFC and Dana White has pretty much confirmed this, that they are trying to sign Amanda Nunes versus Cyborg again for round 2. I mean, technically the second round because she lost.
Yeah, like I told you before I got here today, someone had told me Nunes is already telling people it's a done
deal. And they're
deal.
shooting for December.
Right.
They're shooting for December. So, yeah, apparently this was something that they were working on. If she had won, they wanted her to do it. And she did win, so this is possibility that it's going to happen. I'm still down to see that fight.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it's going to go any different. The way Amanda Nunes
think
has
it
rose.
will.
I did not think Amanda Nunes, if you would have told me in 2015 Amanda Nunes would be the next champion, I probably wouldn't have agreed with you. But the fact that she has turned around and taken out these top talents the way she has, changed up her training, and just become brutal in the cage, hats off to her. Hats off to her. Posts another nude photo of herself showering with the belts hanging over the towel rack.
We've had enough semi-nude ones.
Mine was just her butt.
We're just going to go ahead and need a picture of the
No.
No? You don't want to see it?
I'm not condoning that.
What, you don't want to see it?
I'm not condoning that. People get hacked all the time. It's not their fault.
But you don't want to see that.
And then your main event, the one that everyone is still talking about, John Jones defeats Thiago Santos in a split decision, retaining his belt. This one,
to me, this was the biggest fight of the night.
Yes,
and it's the least talked about this week.
I don't know about least talked about. I feel like a lot of people are still thinking. Initially, again, I was asking people. I was reading play-by-plays before I got home and was able to actually watch this fight. So what I was reading was skewed one way or the other based on who was watching that fight,
right.
what they were reporting. One of the big ones that I read was MMA Junkie. MMA Junkie scored every single round for John Jones.
And I don't agree with that.
Every single round. I
agree
immediately hit up 3 or 4 people that were watching the fight live as soon as it ended and said, hey, this is what I read on this one website. What do you believe? Everyone said they're high. There's no way he won every single round. That Thiago Santos put up a hell of a fight.
Especially for being on a rubber knee.
And possibly could have won if it was not for his injury. Like, it was that good. It was John Jones.
Because he really injured himself.
It was John Jones's worst performance
to date.
Especially defending a belt. If you want to go into the breakdown of it, the official judges had 2 of the judges held rounds 1 for Thiago Santos. They had 2 and 3 for John Jones. And then they are split on the decision of 4 and 5. One of them gave it to Jones and Santos, and the other one gave it to Santos and Jones. You got one judge who Dana White says should never judge another fight again, who gave rounds 1, 2, and 4 to Thiago Santos.
See, I gave him 1 and 4.
And I think that's where it comes down to. Again, other judging, other scores. We put a poll up on our Instagram as well as our Facebook. If you're watching the show, if you're listening to this podcast, go over there. We'll hold it up for 24 hours. Tell us who you thought won. But some other judges. Sherdog was giving it Santos, Jones, and then Jones Santos, depending on who was voting.
Right.
They had 3 judges, or at least guys that were out there. A couple other websites gave it Santos, Jones, and Santos. Bloody Elbow gave it Jones, Santos, Santos. I personally gave definitely round 1 to Santos. 2 and 3 to John Jones. 4 and 5 are where it gets a little muddled. It gets a little crazy. I give 4 to Jones, and I give 5 to Santos. So I still think that John Jones won 3 out of the 5 rounds. That's my personal opinion. Breaking it down, round 1 was all about Thiago Santos' leg kicks. His low kicks were just really, really good. He knocked the mouthpiece out of John Jones. That's why I kind of overall gave him the round. Round 2, Santos hobbled out of the gate a little funny. So I don't know if he stepped wrong or what happened. However, we are now finding out that he has a torn ACL, MCL, PCL, and meniscus in his left knee. There are also talks that he had an injury, a slight partial tear or something along those lines before, like back in January.
Nick, you're late.
And he didn't have it fixed. And that he was going into this with a partially injured knee. However, it was very, very apparent, especially in round 2. John Jones, in my opinion, started slipping some shots pretty well, not getting hit, landing the high kicks pretty well.
And I like the way that Thiago would use him coming in to make up that difference for the reach.
He had to.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Round 3, John Jones looked like he was cutting loose. He was trying all kinds of stuff. He looked like he knew that Santos was injured and that he could kind of ride this out as long as he didn't take any big damage. Santos kept looking to capitalize, especially when John Jones missed that flying knee. He looked to capitalize, and that was pretty good. But he didn't get him in trouble that much. Round 4,
he should have just jumped on him, just like. Dude, system.
Someone's got a system. Round 4, Thiago Santos was landing some heavy shots, but I just don't think he did enough. In round 5, Santos just kept rushing him, trying to find ways to finish the fight, and that's why I gave him round 5. If you look at the actual fight metrics, the ones that I found, strikes thrown, it was I found 2 different fight metrics. One said that John Jones threw 83 significant strikes and landed 41. Another one said that he threw 90 and landed 59. So percentage-wise, that's pretty high thrown to land. Whereas Thiago Santos, I have one number that says he did 157 strikes thrown with only landing 70, and another one that said he did 166 where he only landed 43. So while he outstruck John Jones in every single round...
See, the second one is the one I've probably seen.
Yeah.
59 and 43.
59 and 40. While he outstruck John Jones, he did not outland John Jones.
Right.
John Jones only had the one takedown in the very beginning, which did not do anything. In my opinion, John Jones used the cage control and was more accurate. The spinning kicks were not accurate. He kept throwing those the whole fight, and I'm like, dude, just give it up. You're not landing it.
Right.
And it's actually putting you in trouble sometimes.
Because he would just step forward to it.
Yeah. Their initial results from our poll, 6 out of 6 people said that Santos won this fight. 5 said Jones. On Instagram, 3 people so far have said that Santos won this fight and John Jones. So a lot of people are going with Thiago Santos, saying that they thought he should have won the fight. However,
a lot of that is Jones. A lot of it is Jones hate.
I hate John Jones personally as a person. As a fighter, I have a lot of respect for him. However, we've said this over and over again. To be the man, you have to beat the man, and he did not beat the man. I said same thing I thought back when BJ Penn and Frankie Edgar fought. The first fight, I didn't think Frankie did enough. Obviously, he did, and he won that fight. But in the rematch, he definitely got that. And then the same thing with I don't know. There's a couple other fights that come to mind that would be just like that. However, I would like to see a rematch with a healthy Thiago Santos. I like Thiago Santos. I give, again, Thiago Santos rounds
not only
1
healthy,
and 5 for sure.
But with the knowledge of things that he learned in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
That he can do to Jones. Yeah. Or he can push him around.
It's definitely good. John Jones, he's still out there, man. He says he's wanting to fight in December, right? That's what he wants?
Right.
He's ready to move on.
But everybody keeps saying he's out till 2020.
Well, we definitely know Thiago Santos is.
Oh, well, for sure. For sure he is.
He's got to have a whole new knee put in. Going to be going all cyborg on us. Moving on from there, there is a 1 fight card today.
What does that even mean, Nick? Diaz 1, 2, and 5?
Yeah.
There's a Diaz?
You remember? Diaz. He won 1, 2, and 5. There's no way Conor won that fight. It's bullshit. I'm agreeing with you.
All right. I'm glad you got the reference. Luckily, I was here with my trusty Dodge decoder.
We do have a one fight card going on, which has the Grand Prix quarterfinals rematch between Grigori Patosian and Fut Markot Pachetiadi Academy in kickboxing. This is going to be the featherweight Grand Prix quarterfinals. Make sure you check that out if you are a one subscriber. Moving on from there, Bellator tonight. Check that out.
Oh, we're not even talking about. Oh, we didn't cover PFL from last night.
What happened in PFL last night?
Some wins.
There were some wins.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can bring it up real quick.
Bring it up.
PFL. No, not paid maternity leave. Fighters League. There it is. You guys you need to work on that PFL.
I know.
You need to get your stuff under control here. PFL 4, technically number 18.
I know.
Yep. Magmov Medvedbekirov defeated Chris Curtis. Kayla Harrison gets the win over Morgan Fryer. João Zeferino gets the win over Bojan Vedelkovic. John Howard with the KO of Doom. That's why they call him Doomsday.
6 points.
Gets the win over Ray Cooper III. Just derails him. The day before the event, Sarah Kaufman gets an automatic win over Roberta Saman because it had to be canceled because the opponents could not make weight.
So what is she only gets 3?
Her opponent couldn't make weight, and her opponent's opponent couldn't make weight, so she automatically gets a win because there was no backup.
But no
her.
chance for the 6.
No.
She just gets 6.
She gets a walk, which basically gives her 3 points, I believe.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. There's PFL. Happy? Good. All right. Bellator is going to be on Paramount Network and DAZN DAZN. Prelims are all going to be on the Bellator app, but on your main card, which I think Leslie Smith is fighting on. Yeah, Leslie Smith was going to be fighting on the prelims. On your main card, Ed Ruth takes on Kichi Kunomoto. Julia Vasquez takes on Christina Williams. Rafael Carvalho takes on Chidi Nakawani. And, of course, your main event, Julia Budd, your women's Bellator featherweight champion, taking on Olga Rubin.
My money's on Rubin.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I like Bud, man.
I like Olga.
You don't like Bud? You telling me you don't like Bud?
I do.
You telling me you don't like Bud?
I do like a little bit of Bud. I do. But I'm going with Olga.
Still going with Olga.
Yeah, because like if I'm going to get a massage, if there's a broad name Olga there,
it's a good massage.
That's the one. Get in there. Get in there, Olga.
And then we have the UFC events in our own backyard. This is in Sacramento. I think this is the first time that there's a card this close that we haven't gone to.
It snuck up on me.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, this whole week snuck up on me. For some reason, we took a week vacation.
Still 4th of July
We took
weekend.
a midweek vacation because of how 4th of July fell last week.
Yep.
So it's just messed up my whole time thing.
Messed up the whole thing. So we have UFC Fight Night de Randomade versus Ladd, a.k.a. UFC Fight Night Sacramento, a.k.a. UFC Fight Night 155, a.k.a. UFC Fight Night on ESPN Plus 13, a.k.a. UFC Sacktown.
What you gonna do?
The Sack.
Yeah.
Are those things too?
Yeah.
I don't know if those
also,
are trending. Those should all be trending.
Faberville. Faberville. Yeah. Hashtag fight in Faberville.
Hashtag California Kid.
Yeah, California Kid.
Hashtag Eric Kowal.
Didn't make it to Vegas.
Your prelim card in ESPN Plus, Benito Lopez against Vinny Morales. Pinyang Liu against Jonathan Martinez. Livia Renata Souza against Brianna Van Buren. Darren Elkins.
When did Elkins...
The Damage up against Ryan Hall.
How's he on a prelim? Why?
He's main card? You think he's main card?
Damage?
All right, anyway. Juliana Pena coming back from pregnancy, holding her baby at the weigh-in.
Let's see how it works.
Did she use it to make weight?
See how it works.
I don't think so. But she had her baby with her. Going up against Nico Montano. Andre Touchy-Feely bringing out the Sacktown guys, going against Shaman Morales.
Yeah. Andre Feely got to be on the, I think he was on Good Day Sacramento.
Mike Rodriguez going up against John Allen.
You can't click on either of those guys
and then
on the top
on
of the
your
prelim
main card, still on ESPN Plus, which means if you watched the UFC pay-per-view last week and you were talking about this controversial card, that win, the 5-second knockout and all that shit, you should still be able to watch this fight because you have ESPN Plus because you have a double paywall. What? Main card, Marvin Vettori going up against Cesar Ferreira.
Cole just he heard his name and he joined. He's in there now.
Carl Robertson against Wellington Turman. Josh Emmett against Mirsad Bektik.
Okay.
Your co-main events, Urijah Faber coming
pronounce
out
it like you would like if we didn't know him. Urijah
Faber
against Ricky Simon.
And Urijah Faber coming out of retirement to get a co-main event spot in his hometown.
There you go. To sell an additional 20 to 25,000 tickets.
For sure.
Yeah.
And continue his construction business along. He needed some money, I guess.
You need something built over here. Urijah Faber Construction.
He builds houses with his dad.
There you go.
And has a gym.
They're little people, though. They build little houses.
And sometimes goes on those events at Fins and Feathers. If you go to Chad Mendes' website, you may be doing one of those things with Urijah Faber.
Will he be on Thrills and Grills, though? Or Thrills and Gills?
Gills and Thrills?
Yeah. What you said, VC Vicer.
Possibly fishing? Yes. I don't know.
All right.
With Guida?
Oh, that's cool. They can say you can either go by land or by sea. Who you want to be with? Guida's getting wet.
Or air. They also do helicopter tours.
Oh, what?
Anyway, your main events. Jermaine de Randame going up against Aspen Ladd, who looks like Arya Stark in this poster.
Yeah.
Right there. Looks like Arya Stark. Anyway, there's some scary video this morning of Aspen Ladd weighing in. First of all, she had to strip down. No, you didn't get to see anything, pervos. Because she had the hula hoop of curtain. It looked like part of Ralph Macchio's costume. And
they don't
Karate
call that
Kid.
the hula hoop. They call that the Daniel Cormier weight maker.
No, it was no towel. It wasn't a towel. It was a full hoop. Full hoop.
Take it to the hoop.
You didn't trust...
And anybody who knows what taking it to the hoop is, you can laugh.
You didn't trust Gina Carano's dad dropping the towel and showing his daughter's goods. They actually have a regular hoop now that you're hiding behind.
Yeah.
Remember that back in the day?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh. Yeah, that was her dad who actually dropped the towel.
And all you see is it. That's it.
We need to make sure we get some more views. You want to drop that?
Yeah, drop it. Drop it. Yeah.
Anyway, had the hula hoop with the curtain. She could barely stand. She was shaking. Every time she had to, stand there still, she looked like she was in physical pain on her face. I don't know how the California State Athletic Commission allowed this fight to continue while looking at her like that. Aren't they one of the biggest ones that's like, stop the weigh-in trauma?
Right.
Let's stop
New York.
this.
No, I think it would go New York, California, Nevada.
What about New Jersey?
I don't think we've ever had a problem in New Jersey, have we?
No, they're just like, let them go.
No, New York's the one that's wants to call it for any reason.
I think
he had red bubble gum in his mouth. We can't let this fight happen.
I feel like California was one of the first ones, though, about weigh-ins. They were very specific about weigh-ins.
Who was the one about fake tits?
That was New York.
Was it New York?
That was New York.
Yeah, see?
That's
the one that really got me. It got me right here.
I feel, like I said, it was pretty crazy. Now, we were talking about this before the start of the show. I was pretty sure that Aspen Ladd has had issues making weight before.
Yeah, and you thought once,
I started looking
maybe
at her record,
twice.
and on her official record, she only had one fight go to catch weight. And I was like, oh, well, maybe it's only one time. But I feel like we've had these conversations that every time she's going to fight, she's had an issue. Come to find out, you start looking into the issues. She's had 2 other fights be called off.
Completely taken off the card.
Completely talking about one because she was ill, even though her opponent says it's because she couldn't make weight, and one because she flat out couldn't make weight.
Right.
They had to pull her from the entire fight card. They didn't give her a chance to for the weigh-in. So
some of that again is because she's local and we've been following her
career a little bit.
Career.
Now, what kind of blew my mind is this is a girl who started at 125 at featherweight. This is now 135. This is bantamweight. She's going up in weight, and she's still struggling to make weight. Now, from what I've been told from people on the inside, especially with MMA fighters and women MMA fighters, is that it is harder for women MMA fighters to make weight and to cut weight.
As they get older.
Now, I don't know if that's 100% true. I'm not a doctor. The people I talk to are not doctors. However, that's what's been passed to me, is that women in general, when it comes to cutting weight, have a harder time than men. Maybe we could reach out to Kelly and see what she says. She's an actual woman fighter.
Yeah.
I'll text her.
Or if there's any women watching the show, I just want to know, from your teenage years to mid-20s, do you feel like you... I don't want to say you got taller or anything.
We're asking you actually,
right. But do you just feel like you put on more mass? Because guys will.
Oh yeah.
From 18 to 25, you put on a lot of mass. I wouldn't say you get much taller.
No.
But you have more body mass.
For sure.
Right.
For sure. Your main event, Jermaine Miranda going up against Aspen Ladd. Aspen Ladd, again, local. I'd love to root for her. I think Jermaine Miranda has this fight. in the bag. Jermaine Randall, if you remember, was the first women's bantamweight champion. She then refused to fight
No
Cyborg.
way. Even with the bad
and
weight
had
cut.
to drop-
Even with the bad weight cut, I'm taking Ladd.
Had to drop this this belt
Because she was scared. She was scared of Cyborg. Just think how scared she would be of Nunes.
Yeah. I mean,
She saw the
Aspen
writing on
Ladd
the
is
wall.
8-0. She's got, what is that? 5 of her 8 wins are by knockout. Jermaine Arandame, if you know her Muay Thai career, she is really, really good. She is 11 fights total. She has 8-3. 3 of them are knockout. It's going to be an interesting fight.
Ladd, round 2, submission.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good.
There you go.
That's it.
Because it's a main card, so that's going to go 5, right?
Yeah. Going to go 5.
No, but I say 2, submission.
Make sure you pick up your shirt just like Ashley Evans Smith did over here, which was her birthday last week, by the way. Did you
It's
wish
her
happy
birthday. Go shorty.
Yeah.
Not only to mention that, but she also helped out Eric Kowal and them with their.
He had signed her. I believe he signed her to do some promotion stuff.
Yeah.
At one point, was one of the first people that he decided to help sponsor my MMA news. So very, very cool. Make sure you pick up that Fight Night at Chill shirt, shirtschool.com/STMMA. Pick it up for the weekend. That way you'll have it to watch.
Check
the
out
fights in.
Dependable Solutions. It's on there right now.
Oh, right now. There's
Or no,
things.
wait. I keep watching the delay one.
It's delayed. It might not be
But
on
it's
there right
coming
now.
up.
We got man card, giant Kevin Walkie man card. Get yourself one just like this to open up your bottles, although this will probably open up a bigger bottle than you have.
Right.
You can get one of these for your wallet.
The
not
real
this
one will
size.
open. The real one will open smaller bottles.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. Make sure you have a man card. Make sure you don't get your man card taken away.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's the
from
week.
from
That's the
Syncal
news.
Industries.
Syncal Industries here in the 209.
209 Modesto, California.
What?
We're right off McHenry.
What?
You want to come by? Play some video games or something?
Yeah, I'll take you.
Make an appointment, though. Make an appointment. There you go.
Have a good night. We'll see you at the fight.
Maybe.